my team leader was so generous, and that's me being sarcastic, but she was so generous that instead of giving me 10% on this deal because I brought it in, she agreed to give me 15%. Thank you. What's up YouTube? My name is Andres Restrepo and welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video, I will tell you how much I made on my first deal as a real estate agent here in San Francisco and why I made the amount of money that I did. Stay tuned. In real estate, a standard commission is usually 6%, and that's split between the buyer's agent and the listing agent. In a hot seller's market like the one we're in today, it is not uncommon for listing agents to have a listing agreement signed with a lower commission. So instead of 6%, let's just use 5% for simplicity's sake. Typically, for the buyer side, there's a 2.5% commission, and for the listing side, there's usually 2.5% as well in a seller's market, or maybe even a little bit more depending on what was agreed upon by the listing agent at the time that he met with the seller to have the listing agreement signed. For my very first deal, I'll never forget, I was sitting in open house. This was only 2 months after I had gotten my license, and I was in a beautiful home in Pacific Heights, which was a foreclosure. Foreclosures are extremely rare in San Francisco, and this property was very unique to say the least. This home was listed at $6 million, had no garage, was built in 1896, and it was in totally beat up shape, super rough condition. So this was a unique sort of open home because you don't typically expect to go to a home like that and necessarily pick up clients. It was just one of those randos where, we decided to pick it up. I was there with my mentor at the time. It was just a cool experience for me to be able to do my first open house. I think the whole reason why we did that one in particular was just so I could get the experience of being in an open house, engaging with potential buyers that are coming to it, and getting comfortable and familiar with walking somebody through a property, explaining everything, the characteristics, the details, the neighborhood, and all that good stuff. So I was at the open house. It was about 4 stories, massive. There was a sauna. It was. I'm going to try to find some pictures of it and share it with you. So this is what the home looked like inside. The address of this home is 2709 Jackson Street in Pacific Heights. It was originally listed at $7.5 million, and we held it open after the price was adjusted to $6.5 million. This listing ended up expiring and the home hasn't sold, but it was still a good opportunity to meet a buyer. While at this open house, it was kind of slow. People were in and out, just kind of looky-loos, people that were curious to saw the open house sign up, and they're walking through Pac Heights, and it's fun to see these sort of homes. Towards the end of the open house, I was shutting everything down. So lights off, getting ready to close things down, and as I'm coming downstairs, I see this young lady coming through the door. She was wearing a helmet, so she must have been riding her bike. And she was, just in awe by the characteristics of this property. It was a beautiful Victorian. You could tell that she was super into, period details and charm. So, I greeted her very warmly. I was, super nice, as I am to everybody, because I like to treat people with respect, and always like to give people, if they want to see a property, I'm happy to show it to them. There are people that would, other agents that are kind of snobby, nose up in the air, and they'll look down at somebody that's getting off of a bicycle like that, but I treated her like anybody else. I told her that, hey, I was shutting down, but you're here now. I'd love to show you the property, and it's really cool, so I think you'll enjoy it. So I gave her an amazing tour. We walked through this entire home, top to bottom, and we were just kind of having a conversation, and obviously being a real estate agent and looking to help buyers, I asked her, hey, are you currently working with anybody? She said that she was, but she was kind of early on in her search, so she didn't really know, how she felt about a realtor. She was kind of complaining about him. So I said, hey, that's perfectly okay. Like, I respect if you're working with somebody, but if you'd like a second opinion, then let's keep the conversation going. And, perhaps if, you think we're a good fit, we can work together. So I got her contact information, and I followed up with her. Week goes by, I check in, couple weeks go by, I check in again. and so on and so forth until, she agrees to meet with me in my office. That meeting went super well. I was working with my team leader at the time, my mentor, and I had a really bad split, okay? So I had a 10% split. That's 1/0, that's 1/10 of the commission, okay? So, kind of fast forward, I'm working with this buyer. I pretty much bring in her business onto the team, showing her properties, find her a really cool deal. The listing agent was kind of bluffing, acting like they were expecting other offers, which they weren't. My team leader was gonna have them offer higher, and I said, I don't think that's appropriate. So, I ended up saving them at least $50,000 just because I called the bluff. Right? I knew I had a gut instinct that, hey, this person isn't really being honest right now. They just kind of want to achieve a higher sales price for their seller, so they're trying to talk us up. But again, through, I guess, a little bit of intuition and just kind of reading how the listing agent was coming across, I told my team leader, hey, we should only offer 1/3 on this, nothing more. We put the offer together, we submitted at 1/3, and it worked out, which is insane. I literally got my first deal 2 months after getting my real estate license, and I got paid horribly on it, like horrible. I was super mad when I got my first deal. And I don't mean to sound ungrateful, right? Like when you start out in the business, you gotta pay your dues and you gotta learn before you earn. But I felt like I was working so hard. I felt like I brought this deal in. And it was just a little unfair that I was walking away with so little money. So let me pull out a calculator and let you guys know what the actual commission structure looked like. So the sales price was 1.3 million, which means the gross commission was $32,500. Now, my team leader was so generous, and that's me being sarcastic, but she was so generous that instead of giving me 10% on this deal because I brought it in, she agreed to give me 15%. Thank you. So I'll tell you what that looked like. So 15% of that would have been $48.75. Well, that all sounds great, doesn't it? Wrong. I still had to pay a split to my brokerage. Let's do some more math here. And then we'll do, okay, yep, that sounds about right. And so I walked out with, I don't know if you guys can see that, but $2,600. $2,600. How do you think I felt when my team leader, because I saw her commission sheet as well, she made $27,000 off that deal. I found them the property, I wrote the offer, I gave them the keys to the property, and I made $2,600. When my team leader gave me my very first check, she almost cried. I had to fake that I was happy. Deep down, I was pissed. Like with a cap, just all caps, pissed. So that was my experience getting my very first deal. I hope you guys have a lot better experience. Right now in 2021, I am in a partnership with a colleague of mine. His name is Andreas, which is really funny because my name is Andres, so him and I work together. And to date, right, so this is June 2021, I've sold a little bit over, $5 million so far, mostly with buyers. Have a listing coming up. Needless to say, I am finally seeing those nice paydays after a lot of hard work. My very first year, I did, with my team leader, 13 deals, which at a 10% split means it's like I would have sold 1.3 homes, which is very little, right? So I definitely paid my dues, but again, that's something that I agreed to, so I can only be mad at myself, I guess. I learned a lot from my mentor. She was amazing to work with, but I also realized that it's a very dog-eat-dog business, just like business in general, right? You need to be ready to compete, and everybody wants a piece of your commission. I mean, that's just the name of the game. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this. This is my story here in San Francisco. If you need help navigating the SF real estate market, please make sure to contact me. If you like this type of content, make sure to drop me a like, comment, subscribe if you're watching this far. I hope to see you guys in the next video. Thank you, and until next one.